Here we are at Denali National Park, finally. We made it.
I think we're okay, thank you.
Species of bird, and there's only a handful that does not migrate out of here in the winter time. Think about it. These birds can withstand minus 40, minus 50, and that's not even with the wind. So there's very few birds that can do that. So the state bird had to be picked among those small amount of birds. You're looking at raven, Canada jay, black-billed magpie, raven. This one's the coolest of them all because they change colors. But yeah, this is the Teclanica River that you saw. That snowfield directly behind it. So I'm going to pull up probably another couple hundred meters where you can really see its head.
Yeah, it's so...
It just looks like rods or it just rises at the earth.
There's another...
Got a little bush that's going to be...
There you go. Did you get it, Wayne?
Keep moving.
I saw them.
Did you get it?
Yeah, that is a big one.
Uh-huh.
He is, and he's eating. He's hungry.
Uh-huh.
It is feeding time.
No, they're all social. I suspect maybe a little more than 20 in this group. The ones that we saw up there on the hillside, the one that we saw, the one on the left, they inhabit this valley. So one day we might see all 20 of them together, and then the next day we might see them all spaced out individually. The next day we might see a group of 5, 5, 5, and 5. So it's just totally random. I'm convinced that, you know, it depends on what side of the bed they woke up on, whether or not they want to be social today. But they're going to stay here. Being the longest distance land migratory mammal in North America, if your food resource is unlimited underneath your nose, why move? You want to be energy conservative with this short growing season here. So stay in the same place, fatten up, because the food's going to be gone in no time. And that'll ensure that you don't starve in the winter. So being super hyper energy conservative in the summertime reaps dividends here for these animals. So that's what we find. Is that these full caribou, we'll see the same ones every day out here. And sometimes they'll be with a group, sometimes they'll be solo, sometimes they'll be with a group solo. But what is consistent is this group of 20 is always going to be in here until the leaves change colors and blow off the bushes. And then they migrate out to the west to their historic rutting grounds or mating grounds that's actually on the other side of Denali out there on the western quadrant, in the western quadrant of the park. And that's when the cows meet up with them. We never see cows on these tours. Cow here, no female. Because the female are up trying to raise their calves because they have young animals with them that are highly susceptible to predation. So it's really dangerous for them to be down low, the cow caribou. It's not rare to see a grizzly bear walk 20 feet away from this caribou and not even give that caribou a second look. If that caribou is not injured, it has no problem coexisting with the grizzly bear, and the grizzly isn't going to mess with it. The second that that caribou breaks a leg running and snaps it because it post-holed into a ground squirrel hole is the second that that animal becomes food for the predators like wolves and grizzly. Otherwise, the wolves and grizzly are not messing around with these healthy animals. There's just too much potential for injury. You get kicked in the face by one of these animals, you break a jaw. You get kicked in the ribs, you're going to break ribs. You could collapse a lung. And that could be the difference between life or death with these animals, with the predators. If they're put out of commission for, you know, any length of time, they might not be able to make it through the winter. So their objective, even the predators, is don't go after animals that you don't have the advantage of. That's why the grizzly bear are primarily eating Arctic ground squirrels. Because, like I said, our grizzly bear biologist, Dr. Frederick Dean, once followed a grizzly bear 21 miles as it sent out a decomposing carcass of a caribou. So now it's understood that grizzly bear have the most refined sense of smell of any terrestrial mammal on Earth. More than an elephant. Better. About 7 times more powerful than a bloodhound. So the grizzly bear, this is terrifying to think, can actually smell the Arctic ground squirrel through the ground.
That's awesome.
And I mean, run away. Like, that's running right there. They're really slow.
Dad, y'all side got a lot of animals, but this side got a gator animal. Aww. Got ya.
Cool. Gonna try not to spook this guy. This one. Cool.
I could only put it to here.
And they're walking in the other direction. Cool. That's a younger one. That looks like a yearling. That's a big Oh, there's a baby. This is a mom, and there's some babies right behind her. That's a baby. Look. So this is this year's. The crazy thing is, okay, so this is awesome. So the mother gives birth the third week of May until the first week of June to 25 to 35 pound calves. This is this year's calf, right? So the calves will gain in excess of 100 pounds per month. So that's a pretty big calf. That was born 25 to 35 pounds a couple months ago. Like a 200 pounder right there, it looks like. Maybe more. Still got the bug. Yeah. That's really good. Yeah, those people are a little behind. There's a trail back here. And you see some people back in the woods. That's still a little bit too close. She's the most dangerous animal. We had our state wildlife biologist came up. It was a couple years ago, and he held a lecture early in the season, and he told us, he said, you know, statistically speaking, in the state of Alaska, the most dangerous animal is the moose. By far, he said, more injuries on human beings by moose than by grizzly bear, black bear, and polar bear combined. Yeah, it's the mom with the calves, because they're really ferociously defensive, because they're chased around by grizzly and wolves and stuff, so they have to fight. That's awesome, right? It's a grand finale right there. I know, how about it?
And here comes that car, and you're like, what? What are y'all doing?
You guys satisfied with yeah, in the winter, they're saying when it snows. What happened was last year, at the end of June, beginning of July, for 10 days, the park was on lockdown, and all the hotels were evacuated here because we had a fire right across the way in their canyon. Look at his little nose. Right here for you. So you got to see a full moose, a little one. Looks like he just took a shower. How they do it. That's neat, yeah. No, and they don't have to worry about us, and that's the thing. Just keeps following here. Give you guys back there. Good look at them. Just about even looking now. Oh, window junior. Well, those of you that wanted to see a moose, it looks good.
I see it, baby. I see it. What's that from?
Hi, this is Don. If you like my channel, Cowboy Biker Adventures, be sure to like the video, share the video, hype the video, and of course subscribe. All that helps the algorithm and helps push it out to more people so more people can see it. So until next time, have a good one.